Today, I'm going to take the second lecture uh, of the topic antenna basics here, module 3 here. Okay. In the previous video, what we have learned is we have learned regarding the basic antenna parameters here. Okay. What is the definition of an antenna? What is transmitting antenna, receiving antenna, and we try to understand regarding the pattern that has been generated by particular antenna here, which would be having main lobe, then nothing but here maximum radiation here, minor lobe, okay, whereas there is less radiation here. Okay, back lobes there is also less radiation here, and beam area we try to understand here, radiation intensity we try to understand, beam efficiency, directivity, gain, antenna aperture, and the last topic which I discussed in the previous video is regarding the relationship between the antenna aperture and the mm, directivity here. Okay, so now we try to understand regarding the effective aperture and directivity of a short dipole here. Okay, before that one here, what is exactly this dipole here? Dipole is nothing but a pair of equal and opposite charged or magnetized poles here, which has been separated by a particular distance here. Okay. Here it is the distance of length is L here. Okay, the distance is L here. We are having some radiation resistance which is represented by RR here, and there is a current that is being carried by this particular short dipole here, that is represented by capital I here, and this particular short dipole is placed along the Y directions here, perpendicular to the Z and X direction here. There is an incident wave, okay, which is along the negative X direction here. Okay, now we wanted to understand what is exactly the voltage that is being induced in this particular short dipole of length L here. Okay, before understanding that one here, we have certain assumptions that need to be taken care here. Whatever the radiation resistance we are having here, that is represented by capital R with the suffix of small r here, is equal to whatever the terminal resistance here. That is what is assumption we are having here, and whatever the current that is being there in this particular short dipole, along which has been placed along the y direction here, is assumed as a constant here, and it is also whatever the phase is there, it is also same or its entire length here. That's what's the assumption here. Now there is one maximum effective aperture of an antenna equation is there, which is, I think we have learned in the previous video here, that is equal to maximum effective aperture is equal to, we have learned here. So that is here it has been taken here, that is V square divided by 4SR here. V square is nothing but here, V is nothing but here voltage that is being introduced in this particular short dipole. S is nothing but here power density, RR is nothing but here radiation resistance here. We need to find out the values or the equation related to V, S and R here. After finding out V, S, R here, we need to substitute in equation number 1. Then we'll get the maximum effective aperture here of a short dipole here of length L. So the effective value of the induced voltage is given by the product of whatever the electric field is there, okay, and whatever the length is there. Okay, this is the length of the particular dipole here, and whenever there is an incident wave is there on this particular short dipole, there is an electric field E will be there. So the voltage induced on this particular short dipole is equal to V is equal to capital E into small l here. That has been given here, equation number 2. What is exactly the radiation resistance here? This radiation resistance of a short dipole of length L with uniform current here is given by RR is equal to 80 pi square L square divided by lambda square here. Okay, this is the standard equation here, for which we are going to have a complete derivation in the next module here, okay, which has been represented by equation number 3 here, 80 pi square L square divided by lambda square here. Now power density, you know, power density is nothing but here E square divided by Z here. Z, if we consider it has an intrinsic impedance of the particular medium here. If at all the medium is free, that is nothing but here free space here actually. Okay, so then we can write Z is equal to 120 pi ohm here. So we got this V, we know the value of the radiation resistance here, and we know the value of the S here, that is power density. Substituting equation number 2, 3, and 4 in equation number 1, what is exactly the maximum effective aperture here? E square L square divided by 4 into this whatever the power density into radiation resistance here. If at all we simplify this particular equation here, we'll be having 3 divided by 8 by lambda square here, which is again represented with 0.119 lambda square here. Maximum effective aperture of a short dipole of length L is equal to 0.119 lambda square here. We already know the directivity formula here. Directivity is equal to 4 pi divided by lambda square into whatever the effective aperture we are having here, right? So 4 pi divided by lambda square into 0.119 lambda square here. Lambda square get cancels here. What is the answer? We are having 1.5. So directivity of a short dipole is given by of length L is equal to 1.5 here. So in the same way, we'll move to the next topic here. That is, we need to find again the maximum effective aperture for linear lambda by 2 dipole here. Here also the same case is there here. The only difference we could find here is that there we are not going to consider the length here. I mean, the length was not having any value like we are having in this case here. L is equal to lambda by 2 is the value that we are having in this particular case here. Again, the short dipole, or we can consider the length of the dipole lambda by 2 is placed across, or you can say along the y direction here, which is perpendicular to the z and x here. Incident wave is there along the negative x directions here. There is a dy element here, small element here, from the origin, that is uh, at a distance y here. Okay, there is thermal resistance here. Okay. Now we wanted to calculate the voltage that is been induced on this small element dy here. Okay, so voltage induced by the incident wave in an element dy of an antenna is given by dv is equal to e into dy cos 2 pi by lambda into y here. Now if at all we wanted to find the total voltage that is been induced in this particular uh, uh, dipole whose length is equal to lambda by 2 here, we need to integrate this particular equation number 1, okay, over the limit of 0 to lambda by 2 here. Okay, we know this particular thing here, 2 into integration of 0 to lambda by 4 here, we can change the limits here. Okay, so if at all we simplify this particular integration here, we are having the value of e into lambda divided by pi here. Okay, now we've got the voltage here. Now what is exactly the value of radiation resistance here? If at all we consider the length of the dipole is equal to lambda by 2 here, we are having radiation resistance as 73 ohm here. This is also we are having a derivation in the next module here. Now again we are going to consider that the radiation resistance is equal to the terminating resistance here. What is exactly the maximum effective aperture of a length is equal to lambda by 2 antenna here. Again EEM is equal to V square divided by 4 SR square R, not RR here. So you know the again the power density. Power density is equal to E square divided by Z naught here. If at all we consider the medium as a free space here, then we can consider Z naught is equal to 125 here, right? So if at all we substitute all the value of capital V here, voltage induced, okay, and also the radiation resistance here, and also the power density here, we'll have this equation. Okay, that is nothing but here maximum effective aperture is equal to 0.13 lambda square here. We know the relationship of the directivity. Directivity is equal to 4 pi divided by lambda square into whatever the maximum effective aperture is there. So that is nothing but here 0.13 lambda. So directivity is equal to 1.63 here, right? So when we are considering the length is equal to lambda by 2 here of a particular dipole here, then we will have directivity is d is equal to 1.63 here. Okay, the same way we'll continue the next topic here, that is effective height here. What is effective height here? Effective height of an antenna is particularly related to the aperture here. Okay, so now we can also define whatever the voltage is there, no, voltage that is been mm, induced, okay, is nothing but here whatever the effective height is there multiplied by the electric field here. Okay, that also we can say here from that particular equation number one. So considering equation number one, we can define the effective height as a ratio of whatever the voltage induced to the incident field here in a simpler manner here, right? Now let us get on to the next description regarding this height here, effective height here. Now if at all we consider the vertical dipole of length L is equal to lambda by 2 here, here, and this particular length L is equal to lambda by 2, it has been immersed into incident field capital E here, as you can see in the particular figure here. Okay, now if whatever the current density, or you can say whatever the current distribution of the particular dipole is there, is uniform, then the effective height is equal to k small l here. If at all the current distribution is uniform in the dipole. Now if at all we consider the current distribution as sinusoidal here, okay, nearly sinusoidal if you consider here, then the effective height h is E is equal to, effective height h E is equal to 0.64 L here. And if at all we have a current distribution as triangular, here you can see in the second figure here, triangular current distribution is there in this particular dipole, then what we can see there, say here is that whatever the height is there here, okay, it will be 0.5 L here. Okay, that is what we can say here. And with that one we can also mm, go ahead with another way of defining the effective height here. Okay, now let us consider what we can consider is effective height is equal to, okay, whatever the normalized current is there multiplied by the physical height here. Here you can see in the equation number 3 here, what you can see here, effective height is equal to whatever the normalized current is there multiplied by the physical height here. HP represents the physical height and HE represents the effective height. IAB is nothing but your average current here, right? So if at all I consider the antenna has a radiation resistance of RR here, which is matched to its load here, and how much power that is been delivered to the load here. Okay, power delivered to the load is equal to V square divided by 4 RR here. You know the value of V here. V is nothing but here H into E here, right? So H square into E square here divided by 4 RR here. Equation number 4 here. If at all we consider the effective aperture here, the power that has been given is equal, P is equal to S into AE here. Okay, what is S here? S is nothing but again the power density here. So E square divided by Z naught here. If at all I consider Z naught as a intrinsic impedance of free space here, so then it will be represented as 377 ohm here. If I start comparing or equating the equation number 4 and 5 here, we'll be having the height, effective height formula as 2 into root of RE, sorry, not RE here, RR into AE divided by Z naught here, which will be in terms of meters here. Remember, effective height will be in terms of meters here, and whatever the effective aperture is, it will be in terms of meter square here. Okay, now there is some relationship here which we need to find between, in a simpler way we can find here, relationship between the effective height and the effective aperture here. Again, we have to consider an antenna whose radiation resistance is equal to RR here, and it should be matched to the load here. Then the power delivered to the load is equal to P is equal to V square divided by 4 RR here, which will be in terms of watts here. Then again, if at all we are having V is equal to HE into E here, that is nothing but voltage induced, okay, is given by the effective height multiplied by the whatever the electric field is there here. You can substituting that V is equal to H into E, we will get the equation number 1. In terms of the effective aperture, the same power can also be given as P is equal to S into effective aperture, that is nothing but here E square divided by Z naught into AE here. Now if at all you consider the Z naught as intrinsic impedance of free space here, then equating equation number 1 and 2, we'll be having equation number 3 and 4 here. Okay, so this is how we can understand regarding the effective height here. and the relationship between the directivity and the effective aperture here, considering the length variations here. There, in the first case, we are having the length is equal to small l here. In the second case, we are having L is equal to lambda by 2 here. The directivity we got in the first case was T is equal to 1.5. In the second case, we got T is equal to 1.63 here. Okay, this is how you can understand regarding the antenna aperture effective height here. If at all you have any problem or any clarifications you wanted, please message me here. Okay, thank you. We will continue the next topics in the next video here. Okay, thank you.